talk about an album that's a little over a month old. That's right, it's LL Cool J's album, The Force. Now, my experience with LL Cool J is spotty. I know Mama Said Knock You Out, Radio, Bad, I Need Love. Also 4321 with DMX, Cannabis, Redman, Method Man, and Ja Rule. My roommate and friend Craig got me to listen to more tracks off the Bad, Bigger, and Deffer album. That's not to be confusing with Michael Jackson's Bad, which came out the same year. Some early history for LL. He was born in Queens. When he was 16, his mom cashed out her tax return and spent it on the equipment for LL to make the demos so he could get signed. The first person to listen to the infamous demo that had him signed to Def Jam was Ad Rock from the Beastie Boys. Def Jam was a powerhouse in the mid to late 80s with superstar groups Run DMC. Wow. Let me try that again. With superstar groups Run DMC. Why does it all want to be one word?
We all know
Run DMC.
We all know Run DMC. But there might be some people that don't.
Yeah, Public Enemy and Roxanne Shante. So a lot of groups from the 80s, and Roxanne Shante might have been signed to Cold Chillin'. I don't know. I think she was on Def Jam. So that deals with the history. Needless to say, 12 albums and LL is a different artist than when he first stepped into the game. LL is also a rapper with a considerable acting career, being cast in NCIS nearly 20 years ago, only surpassed by Ice-T, who has been on Law & Order as long as I've been in Spokane. Geez, that's a long time. This also means at the age of 17, LL was the first of teenage rapper. Age isn't everything. Let me try that again. Age isn't everything. Nas, Big Boy, Andre 3000, hell, even Shaheem needs love as younger rappers holding it down before Lil Wayne, Odd Future, Joey Badass, or Bishop Nehru. The I Need Love song was made into the gritty as fuck song I Need Drugs off Necro's album of the same name. LL was also a playable character as well as most of the Def Jam artists in Def Jam Fight for New York. What put me onto this album is there was an interview Eminem did not long ago where he was making music to be murdered by, and he said he was working with the song with Big Daddy Kane. He was working on a song also with LL Cool J. Not like featured all in the same track, but like the Murdergram track got leaked, and that was the first time I heard about the album in question. The leak was the first verse of LL's, and it's identical to the final track. I say this in regards to leaks: if you use it as the beta for the song instead of treating it as the fans as thieves and the impatient people that they are, they might like the track and don't know that the leak in the following single, it could be an indicator if the album is going to be good or not. This also culminated with LL hosting New Year's Eve on NBC this year, when he got me looking out for what he was doing as one of the ambassadors of the Hip Hop is 50 ceremony, which was somewhat controversial. You can't please everybody, and the show had LL go through his old hits as he chats it up with old New Yorkers about the holidays. Not old New Yorkers, I don't know.
Where'd that come from?
I apologize.
I'm gonna look them up right now.
He was a good host. I remember it as the core. 3 apopheniacs were there, watching that, drinking some wine, making some music. Shit was nice. The album had 4 singles showing the range on the album: Saturday Night Special, Passion, Proclivities, and Murdergram. All of the tracks on the album, minus the last one, was produced by Q-Tip, the architect and sound for A Tribe Called Quest, along with Ali Shaheed, their DJ. Q-Tip has been staying low-key following the final album, Thank You for Your Service. He produced the underrated Danny Brown album, You Know What I'm Saying, in 2019, and produced and hopped on a track with Denon Royce and Eminem on a song from Music to Be Murdered by Side B. Or actually, it's from the first album, Side A. And the other person that was on that track was Black Thought, and he murdered that verse. He was on a streak still with projects by Danger Mouse and Ninth Wonder yet to emerge. Him and Busta Rhymes, Q-Tip, had a mixtape called Abstract and the Dragon where they rapped over their own and Jay Dilla instrumentals. They also got a song called with Lil Wayne and Kanye called Thank You from 2012 or 2013. On this album, the instrumentals and sounds are so numerous they turned into Easter eggs to other hip-hop. He also sings on almost every part of the track, doing the choruses. Q-Tip's production style goes back to the 80s, where he would make pause tapes where you loop the record onto a cassette and have to record each loop perfect before the era of beat machines, a new technique in hip-hop and music. He was one of the first innovative producers who was using jazz loops in their music. And with the Native Tongue Collective, De La Soul, Jungle Brothers, Monu Love, Black Sheep, leaders of the New School, the group that introduced the world to Busta Rhymes, he breathed a whole influence into hip-hop. This was 86 to 94, approximately, not his biographer, probably even longer, many people would argue. Another famous video showing Q-Tip's creativity is when he is in the studio with Kanye West, Consequence, and No ID, and maybe Common was there. And Q-Tip is dropping the needle to make the beat without a second turntable, cassette player, or nothing. Just his finger and his ear. The beat turned into a Consequence song off one of his albums. You would think with all the magic in the air, you would be able to get a great product. And to me, as my first LL Cool J record, they knocked it out of the park. It was a low-key affair, other than Murdergram, because of Eminem, of course. Not a lot of people have reacted, reviewed, or listened to the rest of the album. There's very little coverage out there, which is criminal. Track 1 starts off with the vibe of a late-night street cityscapes as LL embodies the real-life story of a black police officer. The instrumental could be ranging from... It sounds like something from... what is that album? Nighthawks. That's what I was thinking of. It sounds like Nighthawk.
Capel.
Are you still there?
Capel.
Exactly. On that track, LL Cool J takes the vigilante perspective. In an interview on Sway in the Morning to promote the album, apparently a black cop who was going to war with the police precinct in New York City had a manhunt on himself by the police, and the cop in question looked like LL Cool J, and he had to be told to not leave his house, LL Cool J did, because the police might have gotten the wrong idea and it could have ended really badly. It's really an insane story to write the first track of an album about. He tells about the standoff and what he thinks about. The cop's name, I believe, was Cyrus, and he wasn't taken alive, so this is some heavy topic for the first release. Before, like all of this, though, like Snoop just comes in and repeats the simple phrase, "I'll black and blue your family," some 20 times. There is like an explanation to give for it, but it's like my issues with Snoop Dogg are just okay, I'll just get into it. Like, Snoop can surprise me with verses, but also he can, like, let me down, as well as, like, he's just saturated everywhere, so it's, like, an easy punching bag. This is not an attack on him. He's not, like, accused of anything, like, really, really bad. This is just, like, a few jokes at his expense, okay? Just don't kill me. Like, why is he the judge of NBC's The Voice? That's baffling. Unless The Voice means influence in the music industry, like Snoop can carry a tune. I really enjoyed the Damn Funk 7 Days of Funk Stone's Throw project he did, and the album he did with Pharrell, Bush album.
Sensual seduction.
Yeah. So he does. Does he deserve to be judged on this singing
No.
competition where the panelists are actual singers?
No.
No.
No,
In
my
any
opinion,
decent
at least.
universe, the real judge would have been Nate Dogg. Rest in peace. Now I realize was isn't picked. He is like it might have been his pop music collaborations, wasn't it? It's all a bunch of rap stuff, which was a show on Netflix which he hosted, and it never got a second season. I'm still pissed off about it. When is the industry love for D-Smoke other than not getting a Grammy happen? Damn it. I digress. One more fact to offset all this hate. My favorite Snoop Dogg song of late has been Edibles off of 2015's Bush album, where he was featured by Netflix's none other than ATL's The Source, T.I. That's why you don't write in just descriptors and alliteration, everybody. Makes it very hard to get back on topic. Now, Skyward, the first track, what were your thoughts on it?
It was good. I thought, wow,
Okay.
it sounds like some classic hip hop from sounds like something unreleased from 20 years ago.
Come on, the beat is like...
In a good way.
You said the same thing, sort of, Danny. You said it sounded like Nighthawks, which is old now.
Yeah. It is.
It sounded old in a very, very good, refreshing way. Which is kind of my feeling with most of it.
Okay. Let's go into the second track. Or does Tolkien have anything more?
No.
Okay. The second track, The Force, starts the album off proper with LL Cool J describing music as the thing that got him out of bad situations, and hip-hop as the force made him rich with women, on a yacht, a boss now. Music continues to keep his life great and kept him out of trouble, as his goal is making music. How nothing can tame it. The instrumental is one of the best of the album, starting off with the air raid siren and these African funk rhythms. I swear, did the man sample the Macarena and make it dope? Or was the original Macarena from 96, interesting year, might be important later. The song midway point, the drums get returned to sound metallic, and the bass drops of all bass drops happens, and the song just sounds like a distorted JPEG Mafia Death Grips number, as LL is writing the song while still keeping the theme of the Force, this raw creative energy. The track ends how it starts. There is no chorus as LL and Q-Tip keep the focus on the sonic experience that normal songwriting conventions buck, usually, for the better in hip-hop. And this song is all the more better for it, in my opinion. So, Skylar, did you like The Force? He left. Alright, hold on. I'll get his interest back. But, Tolkien, what's your thoughts?
Do you know what the Macarena is about?
What is the Macarena about?
Look it up. I don't actually know.
I want to see what he sampled, actually. Let me see what LL sampled. It literally sounds like it has that, swing, funk samba thing going on.
If you watch
The
Hotel
Ford.
Transylvania 3, it's what saves the whole franchise.
I mean, he sampled Don't Stop Till You Get Enough.
Don't stop till you get enough.
For the Ford.
Don't stop.
He sampled the like the woo. But that's it. Apparently, he didn't. So that was just all him, apparently.
Just move on.
Yeah, you see Me by Gary Newman, but we'll get to that.
Just move on.
We need Skylar's reactions. That's the best on the album. That's one of the best songs. Well, a lot of songs are really good.
Well, that's good to know that it's one of the best songs on the album.
Like, just the sonic ride and experience is great. Really gotta find him.
He's probably doing something important. You can't just come back to it.
What an unprofessional guy.
What do you mean? He's being unprofessional. Right.
We're in the middle of a review. What do you think of The Force, the song?
You brought the review to me making a bagel?
Yeah.
Let that be known. Let that be known that you just brought the interview to my bagel making.
That's the creamery. That's Pirates at the Creamery for you.
I think The Force goes hard.
Okay.
It's a good song.
That's good to know. While you're making a bagel.
Do you think the Macarena, like it sounds
No,
like
that's not the Macarena. You mean the Macarena?
It was not the Macarena. The Macarena of time.
The third track, Saturday Night Special, was about never forgetting where you came from, staying solid from day one to now. Also, the ways the modern hustler is different from a respected one. How short-term gains and respect don't go together. It's one of the more mature tracks on the album. LL is helped by Rick Ross, who delivers a pretty awesome verse. Fat Joe is also on the same song. He has a few witty lines, but the focus still is Q-Tip and LL. Q-Tip for the whooshing 70s strings rushing past, which is taken from a Caravan sample. With that vocal chop almost telling you to slow down as the strings could represent the fast, rich lifestyle, LL is rapping his ass off, breaking down the distinctions from the youngsters to the elders and how you can be the latter. It also gave me a vibe of this pristine version of Diet Coke, which is a song that Tolkien probably hasn't heard before, off Pusha T's It's Almost Dry from last year, which was a Grammy contender. It might be the apatheniac in me from the white backdrop and the black and white video and the Fat Joe crack mentions throughout the song, but this track was the one that made me say, I need to check out more of this when it comes out. Always keep your word, always pay it back, is like the quote from the song.
And then
What is your
I like the beat. It sounds like a Mad Lib kind of beat to me. That's my...
Okay. Cool.
Honest opinion.
What is your thoughts, Tolkien?
This is where I'm checking out. This is where I'm just kidding. How many songs
This is where I
is
leave
this album?
This album's 12 tracks. We're on 4 tracks.
What's that?
Okay, we'll speed up. Speed it. The 4th track, Black Note Swede, is a J Dilla bop, using some African funk rhythms. The groove allows LL and Q-Tip to talk about what the album is going to sound like and what music makes LL think of food. Each sound a visual food description, as they were the instructions he gave Q-Tip while making the record. This is where I found it in the Sway interview. The beat is one of the best, giving you that old the love movement, Tribe Called Quest vibe that has been missing since '98. The themes of the track are a black person's upbringing and affirmation. Q-Tip's chorus about never forgetting where you're going and to be true to your blackness. This was a code you have to live and abide by till the day you die. So, I mean, like, it's just really good vibes all throughout. There's an outro beat by Sona Jabarith, who handles the vocals, and it's like very mysterious and regal, where it's all about like the black code and yeah, just it's a pretty good track. What is your thoughts, Skylar?
Thought it was a good one.
I think it's one of the better ones off the album.
That sounds
All
like
the way
I'm
through.
checking back in.
What?
Sounds like I'm checking back in.
Yeah, you should. This one's really good. Alright. The fifth track is Passion. The beat by Tip is frenetic with these organ basses and swells from the organ punctuated by chimes. The Hammond organ plays the melody as the backing scratches go into effect. The drums are just very nocturnal, I would say, with the hi-hats accompanying a brush effect, it sounds like. Granted, I'm trying to write what this is sounding like, and it could all be conjecture. These type of musical pockets are not easy to make, and it is another awesome track that should get its flowers. The beat is both chill and full of life as LL goes through his memories and bounces from one sick line and thought to another. Touch and hold a clip to pin it. Unpinned clips will be deleted. What? I don't know what that is. Maybe that's a bar? I don't think that was. But, yeah. LL kills this shit, plain and simple. He goes from how he kept the passion for 50 years. Some quotables are the Scarface bar that he says, where, like, a lot of people idolize the movie, but he was saying that most people don't see the person that fell in the bathtub getting hacked to pieces by the chainsaw, so not realizing the repercussions of your actions. The Mason bar is pretty good, as well as the money track. You can run a relay race in my safe is just fire. Just some quotables in there. What was your thoughts on Passion? Oh, it was a single. I mean, like, we should... I'll play it for you.
Who, me?
Ooh, look at my caterpillars, bro.
I mean, like, I'm playing it for Skylar so he remembers.
Oh, he doesn't remember?
He does not.
It's the braggadocious one.
It's the one where, like, he's motivated to rap always.
No, it's the one where he's bragging, like, you can run a marathon in my safe, or whatever. A relay race in my safe. Just talking about how rich he is.
Something bad.
I don't know.
Scans. Scans up. But they probably yeah.
That's why I was trying to, like, musical pocket. It's very hard. Like, pontificate about, describe.
Stick to the script.
Let's get going. Alright, the next track is Proclivities, which features Saweetie. This one sold me on the album, and along with Passion was a single over a spacey synth sample that comes from Gary Newman's Me off the Pleasure Principle album from 1979.
Which I'm holding right now.
The track allows a mature experience on relationship where LL expresses what he does when the lights get low with a fine woman. It really is respectful compared to the her lost fuck a bitch when she is begging for it. If not, there's something wrong with her. This track is, dare I say it, about the relationship. He can't be rough with her or he'll fuck her weave up, is one of the lines. Besides the whips and chains in the beginning, this track is the most consensual, where both partners sound like they're having a good time in the courtship. And it's just like the beat is so fire. Like, it's one of the best.
What did Skylar think about it?
Well, that was when I noticed and told Daniel that there's a Gary Newman sample and that I actually really like the album.
Oh yeah, Gary Newman.
Yeah.
It's not what I was thinking about.
I was just like, this is good, because like, it's a weedy song, and like, you know, this...
The chorus is really good too, obviously, but
yeah.
They need each other. The synth sample and the chorus go hand in hand in that one.
Yep. Alright, 7th track, Postmodern, sounds like some Def Jux, Tony Hawk, Perceptionist, SA Smash, Run the Jewels production from LP. What in the company flow is going on here? The record scratches into the pitched up vocals and the beats stomp in your ears as the electronic guitar scratch, reminiscent of Rock the Bells, I meant electric. The same as sound in the censor version of Wu-Tang Clan's Protect Your Neck. Some crazy-ass hip-hop I appreciate. LL recounts that he got where he's from, the Adidas Def Jam, because of his mom funding his career. For him able to buy a house for her. The second verse gets to being about yourself, and everybody else is not, you know, searching for what's deeper, and it like taps into like the spirituality and self-esteem and equality and a lot of things. Do you remember Postmodern, Skylar?
Yeah, I remember Postmodern.
What do you think of Postmodern?
Thought it was very postmodern, honestly, in its views and style.
That's not gonna be good enough to convince him to check out a track like that. No,
I don't know. I thought that was pretty good. I thought that was. I like that description.
Okay.
It's true to the name. It's true to the name.
It's true to the name. Very much so.
Awesome. Alright. The 8th track, 30 December.
You don't care about that song, Danny?
What?
You didn't care?
What song?
I don't know. The one that's true to its name.
Postmodern?
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
You thought it was like Company Flow or something?
30 Decembers, not Dirty December.
Dirty December. It's gonna be dangerous days. Thanks.
Jeez. Over a haunting instrumental from Tip, the 8th track, 30 Decembers, has one bass line that anchors the track as the rising choir synth, ooh, ahs, swirls with an energy. The sound like a cold wind is blowing throughout the track. The track is most ominous and hard-hitting regarding life. LL has gone back to New York to report everybody is depressed, everybody thinks he's over the hill. He holds these feelings, trying to be the light, inspiring everybody. It's like I died and came back. That's how different he thinks everything feels, is like one of the lines. How everyone is divided and combative. He just wants peace. He will continue to grow with New York, now both older and changed. This song was the most personal on the album for, like, himself and also, like, me and most listeners, I imagine. Just, it's very, like, raw and, like, he's just spilling his guts out, like, all of this album. Like, he just finds new ways to make metaphors, and it's just like a real crazy song that ends with like his acapella, almost like Kamuteo's Death, where it just has the acapella just go out, or I mean, like, Kill Me. I mean, that song. Blank me, blank me.
Oakley dokley.
What did you think of 30 Decembers?
I like that one. Because it gives me ideas of something we could do where it's like a very chorusy kind of song.
It does have a chorus in there, but like, what
The chorus plays a lot more than any of the other choruses in the album.
I think it's the most like cohesive, like, you know, emotional, like, put together chorus and stuff. Other choruses are like ideas that Q-Tip is singing, and yeah, this is the most like fully formed chorus. I would agree with you. Speaking of, 9th track, Run It Back, a feel-good track with a smorgasbord of ham and organ, the shimmering synths that come in every 8 bars, with bass and conga. The track starts with a reverse record sample that sounds like Kool Moe Dee's Wild Wild West chorus. The youngsters aren't doing it how LL was doing it at 17, 16, and 15. You got a bag, don't need to talk about it. If they were doing it like LL, they wouldn't have to sacrifice their shit to the industry. Like, that's one of the lines, the beginning part. He controls what he does. He also hustled rapping at a young age and getting rich from it. 17, 18, 19 for him, he was on with the gold chains, Adidas, and Kango. What did you think of Run It Back?
I like that production. That's another, like, the instrumental. I want the instrumental of that one.
It's a very, like...
It reminds me of ancient history from an improv.
It reminds me of, like, Dilla and LP made, like, a beat. Like, something very energetic, but also, like, very, like, funky and deep ingrained. It's just, like, so New York, but also, like, very organic and just uses creativity. What do you think, Tolkien, so far of the album?
I think that he sounds a little bit like an old guy, maybe in his lyrics, but he's not pushing it too hard. Like, you know, he's got some advice, but he's also got to brag and be like, yeah, we're still better, basically. The old school is better, though, in my opinion, so I'm not going to fight it too hard.
That is a good assessment, because that is pretty much the album, but you should listen to it in your spare time. The 10th track, Huey in the Chair, featuring Busta Rhymes. The track has the smoothest, fuzziest funk, and it sounds like something Tame One would rap on. It reminded me of the dip off Acid Tab Vocab, produced by Parallel Thought, who, along with underground albums with Tame One, made a collab with Del the Funky Homo Sapien. So Redman and Ice Cube's cousin made an album. Parallel Thought mentored the producer Knowledge, who has 2 projects with Anderson .Paak as No One Worries, Why Lord, and Yes Lord. Why Lord being, like, a contender for, like, one of the best hip-hop / R&B albums of the year. So, that's kind of cool. Anyways, in this track, LL breaks down the supreme mathematics as well as his black pride, comparing it to Black Panther revolutionary Huey Newton. Bust is hilarious and a masterclass of lyricism. This brings that 60s, 70s, like, real, like, hot sun, like, just sweltering, almost. That's what the beat is like, just like melting. What do you think of Huey in the Chair, Skylar?
I think that you are right to say that it sounds kind of like a Tame One song. Because it's the most, like underground, like, kind of sounding. It's totally that sound. I don't know how to describe that. But even in, like, the lyrics, and it's, like, another example of, like, how his style is definitely older than, you know, what is
Yes.
the popular thing right now.
So that leads us into track 11. Well, Tolkien, what do you think so far from that?
Did you say Huey Lewis in the News?
Not Huey Lewis in the News. Tame One.
But Huey and the Huey what?
Huey in the Chair. Huey Newton.
Who the heck is that?
The Freemason. Not the Freemason. Wow. Jeez. The Black Panther.
So
The
that...
activist.
Okay, I'm like... Are you describing an artist?
He sat in the chair, the peacock chair with the gun
Well, that
and the
makes more
beret.
sense, you know, than Huey Lewis in the News.
There is Huey Lewis in the News. I'm just trying not to make it seem like we're completely ignorant here at derivative content. Oh no!
There is a Huey Lewis in the News also?
No, I thought I deleted the call. Thank God I didn't. Okay. Let's keep it going before I do something even more stupid. The 11th track, Basquiat, is
Oh,
a
wait,
real fun.
I've heard
song.
of that song.
You've heard of Basquiat, the song?
Yeah, because Jay-Z.
That's not it. And we're going to explain why.
Okay, thank you.
With the thumping bass line that is so smooth as liquid, the drums and the percussive shaker sound, LL references 80s pop art painter Jean-Michel Basquiat as he comes from poverty. His art got him to the uptown New York where Fab Five Freddy and Blondie were hanging out. Not at all at once, roughly the same time. Rock the Bells CEO more Jean-Michel than a TV show. There's a popular documentary about Basquiat that he did in his lifetime. Coincidentally, Basquiat overdosed when he should have gone to a 87 or 88 Run DMC concert. LL has a festival called Rock the Bells that was one of the first of its kind hip-hop music festivals starting in 2005, I think. The acts he put on to be celebrated were old school and gave them a platform to rock shows with some of the newer underground acts that were just getting started. This mainly created festivals that weren't in the Live Nation Jay-Z bullshit that we're dealing with, where both the fans, the artists, and the venue owners are getting screwed over. Underground rappers took LL's idea and in 2008 created the Paid Dues Festival. This festival was bridging underground with old school acts and kept the spirit of Rock the Bells alive. This is where TDE got a major look, as well as Odd Future, where Tyler, the Creator, got started, as well as him creating the Camp Flognog Festival and Carnival. These festivals are about keeping the spirit of hip-hop alive, and to see the LL's festival inspire something like the Pop Out with Kenny and Friends, or these other Amazon concerts is truly awesome, because it means that it's out of the reach of like a Live Nation or something monopolistic as Jay-Z. The track, along with the entire album, is to inject a modern interpretation of the old school hip-hop, the era of music LL ruled in. This music is a better use of Basquiat's name as well than Jay-Z's entire Magna Carta Holy Grail album, as Jay-Z didn't rap that he was inspired to make art like these artists, but rather buy the work and keep it like Pokemon cards. Pablo Baby is the track that exemplifies that. It's also about investing and using art to, like, to be fair, it's about, like, reinvesting, divesting, just using art like NFTs, which, you know, there's that rap, and then there's the people that create it, which is more underground. Sorry to say, that's the truth. And also, LL is at least making more of a connection with the artist and than the art. He doesn't want to collect Basquiat's and wear his hair like him. He wants to make art in the style or lineage of Basquiat, which was postmodern pop art. These paintings, along with graffiti exhibitions, turned the visual side of hip-hop into an artistic force still felt to this day, with documentaries like Wild Style showing America what Uptown New York was doing, from the artists in the Bronx, Queens, and Harlem.
Did you watch
We should
Wild
know
Style?
those traditions in our hip-hop group, the Apopheniacs. What?
What about Exit Through the Gift Shop?
Exit Through the Gift Shop too, Jersey. I was gonna say, like, you know, there's other graffiti.
There's other better ones.
Just the point is what the album is talking about graffiti culture, and it's talking about the artists.
Mm-hmm.
What is your thought on Basquiat?
I don't remember.
Well, then I gotta play you the song.
It sounds like he did what Jay-Z did.
He did not. And we can break it down why that's incorrect right now.
I'm joking, I'm just trolling you. But honest, can't you see how the average person would just assume that? They'd be like, well, he just copied Jay-Z. And then do you remember what's his name said about Jay-Z doing that? Hello?
Oh.
Are you playing the song?
Who? I was. What? Who was saying who to Jay-Z?
I don't know. Just, you know. For Jay-Z.
Not looking good. Alright, just cut that. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, next track, Praise Him, featuring Nas, is the 12th track. A Q-Tip beat is a collection of meticulous instruments and progressions that repeat between the verse to the chorus. Not all of them, but like this one in particular. I don't know why it was phrased that way, just I'm trying to get through this. They build up before each verse with the bongos, then the bass, then the rising synths that sound like the opening to Scarface by Giorgio Moroder. These flute synths made it seem like the world is falling apart and salvation is the only thing holding everything together. Hey Allah, what did you want to be when you're born, when you see yourself in divine form? LL is teaching through the supreme alphabet in mathematics, and it's awesome. If you listen to Rakim, Wu-Tang Clan, Gangstar, Nas, Black Moon, Brand Nubian, Busta Rhymes, then the 5%er terminology will be familiar with the teachings. I find it interesting. Get into some Killah Priest sometime. Nas's verse starts how he is the best even as a middle schooler, and about the hellish, dangerous life in New York in '86 where his music journey was beginning, where everybody is robbing and lawless and it's all hip-hop. So, what do you think about Praise Him, Skylar?
Is it the last
I
one?
don't remember. Is this the last song?
Second to last.
Don't remember? Hello? Danny? Are you there?
Yeah, so what do you think of that one?
I think that one's another old school hip hop type one. I don't know. I was surprised by like its production. I was really expecting it to at any moment to just turn into like a JPEG Mafia type ripoff, but it never does that. And I'm glad for that.
That's good. Okay. Tolkien, thoughts on Praise Him by Nas? Because it seems like a very mysterious track where we can't get a lock on what it's about. Or
Well, you gotta think about maybe the religious connotation and the esoteric value of it, probably. It's probably in the album where he was like, no one's gonna get this far.
Yeah. That makes sense.
yes, they're going like rapid fire, and it like gives you this vibe of like, it almost gave me like the Get Down, like Netflix's The Get Down, like the vibe of like late 70s New York, early 80s New York, where just those block parties are going on and the DJs are spinning the records, like, and there's breakdancing, like the very early tenets of hip hop, like where people are just killing it in like a circle, in a cipher.
Circle birth.
Don't say that. In a cipher, you unholy heathen. Anyways, let's get back to the 12th track, Murdergram, featuring Eminem.
No.
It all comes full circle. Murdergram is better than Houdini. There, I said it. With the silly-ass bass sound. I swear, Dr. Dre hates white people in production or something. Eminem needs to get back to working with, I don't know, like the Bass Brothers, but like, he should work with the Neptunes. Why hasn't he ever worked with Pharrell or Ninth Wonder or Alchemist?
That's why.
Well, I mean, he has worked with Alchemist once, but that was just, we need that again. Or, oh no, some fucking other person. Eric Sermon, The Rockweiler, DJ Evil D, DJ Muggs, RZA, DJ Premier, not just doing scratches as a way of switching it up. Even DJ Quick. I've never seen a good producer, amazing, even Dick Righted since fucking Revival. Like, it's every single song he has to mention that Dre gave him a start. It's like one of the most tired things Eminem talks about. It's just a pet peeve of mine. Like, anyways, like, all of the production as well is just the same My Name Is playbook. Why does all of the songs have to sound like a circus and he slipped on a banana peel? Real Slim Shady, Without Me, fucking Houdini. Now Death of Slim Shady, Coup de Grace came out before this record by a couple of months. Let's start with LL. He is killing this track, and it's a damn shame other rappers can't sound this smooth. He is using multi-syllable schemes, but his flow is controlled and consistent. Eminem is still double timing, but it isn't cocky show of skill. He is actually smoother. People could debate if this is like better or worse than LL. He's actually, like, LL's killing it all through this album. Like, he's just, like, on fire. It's scary how good he is. It might be the fact that Eminem co-produced this track with Q-Tip as well, that he gets points as he rides this drum breakbeat in the middle, but he rides the Q-Tip part as he's technically the best rapper ever or whatever. Just a scheme with the mafia, and like how many times he can keep that up is very enjoyable. He also references Big Daddy Kane's Long Live the Kane in the video, where he's Big Daddy Kane and he's like getting served the grapes by the women, and it's cool because it's on his t-shirt and it like morphs into it. Like, the video's cool. Anyways, yeah, this is the only track that most people have heard off this album. Shocker. I know. Yeah, it ain't no half-stepping or smooth operator. If you have ever listened to Big Daddy Kane's Veterans Day from 1996, his best solo work, that was something that Tolkien put me onto. But yes, the final point about Murdergram is this is the sequel to LL Cool J's Jack the Ripper track, where he was not feeding, I hate my phone sometimes, where he was feuding with Kool Moe Dee, and it is one of the first it's one of the first sized hip-hop beefs of all time. Second, if you want to get really technical, and third, if Roxanne Shante was out first. Anyways, the song about This Ain't Halloween, these candy bars get you killed in the forest, we lyrically lawless, is perfect for the spooky October season. Another fun, bouncy track that ends the album like a pleasant, high-octane car crash of energy. Eminem also gets double points for referencing E&J, the best drink to throw your life away to.
I agree.
Yes. Alright. So, Skylar, what did you think of Murdergram?
I think that it reminded me that Eminem exists. That he's alive and well. Clearly.
I was gonna say, I like how Danny downplayed that Eminem was on the song.
I didn't downplay him. I said I liked his mafia scheme and like his Big Daddy Kane stuff, but like LL does kill him on this song, which is crazy because like Eminem is rapping really good. He's rapping better than Houdini. I'll say that on public record.
Yeah, he still fails. Comparison, right?
No, I like this song. The more I listen to it, I like it. But I'd probably say that with Houdini. Like, slightly above average verses, but they're good. Just when you have, like, God's Network literally to listen to. everything. Like, is Eminem in God's Network? No. No, Chino XL was. Anyways. 13th and final track on the album is The Vow, featuring Mad Squabbles, Jay Sands, and Dom Pobliato. The production is like a modern 90s boom bap beat with these evil synths over the dramatic string section that gets pitched lower. This is the first song that isn't produced by Q-Tip as well. So I think Jay Sands produced this one. So LL's verse is about how dope LL as a fetus when he was born was, and when he rocks the mic, he's the best to ever do it. The shit sounds like Wonder by King Ghidra, and how those strings ride the beat and represent from Nas's Illmatic with the silent movie xylophone samples. A stoppable force since the day he was born, which was my original analysis for the self-titled track. This one is LL in his most fuckwittable, awesome form of metaphorical, mythological legend. Gil Scott-Heron and the Last Poets are the 70s beat poets in the 70s that were a major foundation in the art form of rapping that get mentioned here, as well as the political social commentary that got injected into rap and became a mainstay and important, like, piece of it, and, like, represented the oppressed. Mad Squabbles is next with the verse that talks about his gifts as a lyricist living in the tough New York streets, addicts and thieves. Jay Sands' verse is full of punchlines running down the same subject matter that Mad Squabbles laid down. Dom bars up and bats up cleanup with a verse that sounds downright evil as he becomes the manifestation of taking the loot, the holder of the juice, as these winding string sounds surround you till the final moments of the record. Alright, so what do you think of that record?
That, like, half of it is really, really, like, A+ music, and the rest is really good, too. But
do you remember the...
It's like, you know, maybe actually more realistically, like, an 8 out of 10 album. But it has so much re-listenability to me, actually. That's the only thing that matters to me in an album. The only thing that matters is listen is yes.
That's a good conclusion.
That is, I mean, like, it's like actually very short. It's only 40 minutes. So it's like a Run the Jewels record too in that length. So it means like a Scaring the Hose project or something on the shorter side. You can play the tracks over and over again. And you can also play this stuff out of order, and it sounds good. I mean, it sounds good out of sequence and in order, which is really dope. I got some other thoughts that we can just run through really quick, but like...
Wrap it up.
I'm wrapping it up. Don't be an... Literally took the time. You're gonna hear it. Now that was LL Cool J's The Force as he hits my cart. A solid hip-hop album from some of rap's heavyweights. We got feel-good tracks, turn-up tracks, reflective tracks, inspirational tracks. The album feels like a good time, with Q-Tip's beats never staying the same, and always switching elements to keep you engaged. Some of LL's lines lead into a breakdown into the beat that sync up perfectly, such as the bass drop in The Force, or when, in the last track, The Vow, he says that rappers get their ass, like, turned to, like, it's either, like, dirt or dust or vapor or something, but he keeps the scheme going, and drum, like, drops into, like, a trap sort of, like, switch, and it's awesome. Overall, I got Skylar Mesmer to listen to this one, and he had as much fun with it as I did. He even showed it to his brother Asher, who liked it. Did he listen to more of the album?
We did.
Well, that's all good.
I got more, hold on. The only one who has yet to hear this solid album is Tolkien Walt Dipsey, the man behind the chair. Or in the chair.
What?
The man behind the chair.
Man, you know, attention to the man.
I only wish he will give this a chance, at least, to check out Murdergram Do, so he can debate which is the better Eminem song. The stupid media was recently very dismissive of this album. However, as MTV.com or some bullshit said, does rap have an aging problem? As I wanted to point out that the album didn't sell well as a recent Drake leak or something. Or even say that the Ahem Ice Spice album was better, saying no one bought this and probably some sexist double standards throw in there. Because everybody is reaching nowadays. Gross. Also, this album was downplayed even though the content and messaging is mainly positive. LL is no saint, but he was trying to impart perspective and tell the kids to be respectful, to work hard, and be original. It's also very pro-black with Afrocentric themes on equality that shouldn't be overlooked, and does try to say something on a Run the Jewels level, trying to spark a conversation. So he was thinking something that modern hip-hop is lacking like a mug in the mainstream. The critical media landscape is all about agenda. Why would an outlier of a genuine expression of art not make it in an age of released music around this time? Oh yeah, Rakim's album also got polarizing reviews. Shut the fuck up, MTV News, you don't know shit. There have been fire releases this past year. God's Network Reborn being one of them. It will have its day on the review block as well. Furthermore, the disrespect to that Rakim album is criminal. Weakest points again was Snoop. Sorry, it just is. For 20 seconds of airtime, it's insane how people say the beats suck when Rakim did them all. And also all the scratches. So, as a producer that is starting to produce and really do all of the handling of all the production and scratching, as well as Mesmer handling a chunk of it, is just huge. It's just he got everybody on this album. He has Cannabis, X-Rated, friggin' Chino XL, who recently passed.
I was gonna say, he got Chino.
Planet Asia on it. Friggin' Corrupt, Master Killer, Law the Dark Man.
Good for LL Cool J.
I what comes up is extra large pants.
So messed up. Alright. Some other albums that have released this year that we should review, and also are some of my favorites of this year hip-hop wise. Blue Lips by Schoolboy Q. Earl Droog's Movie. Black and White's Big Hit. Oh, wait, no. Big Hit and the Alchemist, Black and Whites. Alchemist and Oh No's Gangrene. Heads I win, tails you lose.
If I have a
Anderson.
Anything but the Alchemist stuff.
Come on, I got 3 Alchemist projects.
That's okay, I'm just saying, that's my vote. We don't have to go by my vote.
Razkaz is also on the a Rakim album that he does like Alchemist. Just
Chino was Warner Brothers signed.
yeah,
Isn't that interesting?
that is interesting.
And then with this album, I'll listen to it maybe, and then we'll do a follow-up review if we get a lot of feedback or something, you know?
Exactly, we should do that. And then
If we get more likes than we've ever gotten, then I'll listen to it. Which is
You'll
like
read
5
that.
likes.
You're not allowed.
No, that's what I was telling you.
Oh my god, you didn't tell me that. That's not what you were telling me. You didn't tell me anything.
Yeah, don't put that review. Alright.
Now I'm like, oh.
The other albums we should review, JPEG Mafia's I Lay Down My Life For You.
Doesn't it hurt to commit suicide? What the fuck?
Shut up! What is wrong with you? You're gonna get canceled. Anyways, the Blue Exile album that just came out. This new artist, Doichi from TDE, called Alligator Bites. Me and Skylar listened to it. What did you think of Alligator Bites?
We're not doing another review, are we?
Yeah, we're doing a mini review
No, just wrap it up. Just wrap it up.
I'll have to do a commercial.
Hold on, we'll get there. We're almost there. What did you think of Alligator Bites?
Was surprised. Now I know another female rapper that's really good.
That's good, actually.
Yeah, he's just
Yeah,
came out.
I would even suggest her to you, Tolkien, before even the LL Cool J album. You'd probably like Doichi better, almost. But you'll probably like both if you haven't listened to them yet.
I don't really like LL Cool J, like, by default, sort of. Other than the one commercial he's in with the beer, when he comes in with the train.
I'm glad you brought it up.
Doichi is like if Janelle Monáe was a rapper or something.
I forgot to bring up that the only reason I've been coming around to LL Cool J is because he brought back the Coors Light Bullet Train or whatever, and so I'm like ready to give him a chance again.
Well, it's just funny because like LL Cool, even my dad knows who LL Cool J is, and he is not someone that listens to rap music whatsoever.
Like he penetrated it.
Because he's so, you know,
Yeah.
old and...
He's hanged out with Robin. Like,
Other half of the bagel is for you.
oh, thank you. Some other albums: Vince Staples' Dark Times,
Yeah,
Rockin' God Network Rebirth,
Oh my god.
and Childish Gambino's Lithonia.
let's do that one.
That one was a soundtrack to a movie that hasn't come out yet, so we should do it when the movie comes out.
Perfect.
Anyways,
Perfect.
really quick, we're going to go through all the mainstream albums that came out this year. J. Cole's Might Delete This. I was looking forward to this off the teasers, and to me it was lackluster, no fault in the beats, but J. Cole is just not his true self or in true form on this one. Thanks to Absol and Daylight, though, for the pie track. I felt the teaser singles were better than the album. Now, J. Cole has put himself in a difficult position releasing Port Antonio, which is a theme track after Kendrick Newt, Drake's Empire. Well, he has some splaining to do.
I heard about that.
What is your thought on J. Cole?
I'm just glad he's in the news because I'm wearing his shoes right now and they're comfy.
Just wanted you to know that the song is like, alright, but he fenced it hard. He's like, I'm not going to turn my back on Drake as a friend.
No,
People are mad at him.
He's back on the Drake side, even though he's not. I'm just
Anyways.
glad that he keeps his name in the news so I can wear his shoes and people know what I'm saying. I'm like, these are the J. Coles. Like, oh yeah, that guy in the news about Drake.
Yes. So then we have We Don't Trust You and We Still Don't Trust You by Future and Metro Boomin. These albums have too many head scratchers and downright bad songs that I take a handful from each project and keep it pushing. There is some good stuff, mainly if you like The Weeknd and 80s synths or Into the Spider-Verse Metro Boomin production. You will like it. It's all about Future, though, to keep it interesting.
Are you gonna wrap this up soon?
Pretty soon. You're lucky Like That is on the album, giving the thing any kind of spins, because what the fuck, guys? The Like That remix slaps the fuck anyone on the internet telling you different. So, really quick, with We Still Don't Trust You, J. Cole showed up on that album right after he deleted his track with Kendrick. Metro Boomin used a Cole song, so he showed up on an album. He showed up on the wrong side. He's switching sides. Really, he's just in the history. It's funny. He's like, I'm hanging out with Future.
He switched to mid-mobile.
He's like, all the strippers are awesome here with Future.
Yeah, well, what about A$AP Rocky, Dan? What about...
Well, he's on We Don't Trust You. We Still Don't Trust You.
Blah, blah, blah.
Rick Ross. Alright. Slim Shady Coup de Grace. Wow, Marshall, good album and you still let me down. How did you do that? Eminem's so far removed from anything controversial, it took him till the fucking bonus tracks to say anything of note or substance. The way Slim should have been provoking you. With references to the hardline stance Diddy orchestrated Pac and Biggie's death to Israel. Funny that all the mainstream albums mentioned are funded and marketed by Universal Music Group, and the more you know about them, you're gonna have to suck and swallow in some way, whether in messaging or in release date, or the entire Drake rap beef being a massive fucking distraction from the military contractors funding the music industry, and the slow and quiet recent outcry till now. It's good Eminem has these beats, and they are an improvement with some of the tracks. Damn Murdered. The first leg of the record is what I gravitated towards, with the schemes and flows that are enjoyable to listen to, and Marshall sang like he was having fun. The only track I wasn't feeling was Temporary, where he writes a song from the perspective of his ghost to his daughter, even though he's like now a grandpa and she just graduated like university. And it's like supposed to be sentimental and sweet, but he's done this like 3 times already now. So, the Jelly Roll song sounds like a Mandela effect from a chorus that sounds like a song 2 years ago at the mall. It's just weird. Okay. And then there's no discombobulated like music to be murdered by, which was like a relapse cut that got used as the end of that album to like close off this album. But there is a positive note with some of the bonus cuts, except one in the middle. That 2 Chainz and Eminem, Kyrie and Luca cut where they redo an Eric B. and Rakim song is pretty effing awesome, actually, and needs an album together. I mean, like, yeah, 2 Chainz and Eminem need to make an album together. They have the best chemistry, and that's where his focus should be, honestly. There. From the Chloroseptic remix to this awesomeness, it's like whenever the fans want Eminem to get back in his bag, he links up with 2 Chainz, who's also has a great feature run as well. Anyways, listen to LL Cool J's The Voice. Here's the alchemical listen part of the review. LL Cool J celebrates his mother in this album, and she is a character in his rhymes. It's awesome she ends up in the final cut reciting a gothic poem as she's giving birth. She is referenced in Run It back her financial sacrifice, allowing LL his true start, something he never forgot, as they both shared success later on because of it. Another reference is in Black Code Suite, how she is making a meal that is as flavored as the beat. Schoolboy Q honored his mom this year in Blue Lips, one of the more personal tracks off the album. It's cool the more experimental hip-hop releases are about being respectful and honoring your parents. One mom I want to highlight is Darlene Brown. She's the mother of Tame One, who is keeping his legacy alive. He is one underrated rapper and graffiti artist that doesn't get mentioned ever in the press. His solo work, his group with Cage, the Leak Brothers, and his duo The Artifact should be studied and held in the esteem as kids checking out MF Doom. And they should check out Sean Price and Tame One, and I'm blanking on a few names right now of people. But, you know, he was one of the dopest, and I think it's a stretch that, like, you know, this man breathed hip-hop and he doesn't get his fair due. And, I mean, like, if anything, if this review does anything, then you should check out his music more than anything. Tolkien, what do you think?
I think that it's time to wrap it up, and that's enough.
Okay, hold on. This is the ender. Are all these releases on the same quality? No, but they offer a lot more to the listener. If they want to get into a sound that isn't generic, people need to understand every album is an album statement or concept. Some shit sometimes is a sequence of songs that just sound good together. However, LL's album, while not fully conceptual, is a succinct, unique experience. Some dipshits with headphones, keyboards with a camera, and a social media influencer subscriber count should definitely give a listen. It's just good music, my subjective opinion. This is what hip-hop is supposed to make you feel. That life-affirming positive guidance. Like, have it in your car, and it's a full album, no skip, good time. It doesn't need to be filled with a million producers and industry features, like I was just telling you before. And it gets you where you want to go in no time. That's what makes it the album of one of the albums of the year for me, and so replayable for me. You can listen to it 3 times. It has even been 3 hours yet. No filler. This is Daniel, Mr. Stay at Super Lava, Leo's running hologram cancer man, over and out.